Thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate it. If anyone has any questions they can drop in Messenger to me. We'll try to get them answered before we get started. The other thing to tell you all, we have a fun step and repeat out back. You can take a selfie with the HP Reverb outside in the bar area. So while we're getting ready, if you want to go ahead and take a fun selfie.
How are we feeling, Spike? Feeling good?
No, good. It's good. It's good. Thank you for the help.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to this.
No, we eat our own dog food or drink our own champagne, which way you want to call it. Yeah.
We only call it champagne.
I like champagne. That's not tasty. That's the whole way.
That is one of our team mottos.
Just can't wait for the bar. The virtual bar actually works in the future. Maybe.
Yeah, we can have an after party next time.
Yeah.
With our awesome interactables.
Now that we have it, right?
Hi, is my microphone working?
It is.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Alex.
Hello?
All right. People are sending me some questions, and I'm going ahead and answering them.
Is my microphone working?
Hello, how are you?
Can
Hi,
people
Alex.
hear
Doing
me?
great.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
Alex.
Alex. Where's Alex?
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't see Alex.
Good. Sounding good.
He looks just like Alex,
Hey,
so it's
Spike.
easy to recognize. Hey, Alex.
Right. Hi.
Hey, Alex. I'm Spike here. How are you doing?
Good.
You guys
I
are
like your
very-
avatar. You're looking good.
Okay, thank you.
I think Spike,
Your avatar looks like you. Stop.
Spike and Alex, you're in the same spot. You guys probably both have your space bubbles on, so maybe.
Okay, I was thinking that he's right next to me. He actually looks like Alex. Oh my gosh.
You can
You have some special people working for you.
John and Alex, or John and Spike mixed up.
That's the, yeah. No, Alex looks exactly like himself. I saw Alex. I was in here last week with their dev days, and it was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi.
All right. We're gonna.
There's a big echo.
How are we doing on time? All right, we'll give it just another couple of minutes, 2 more minutes.
Hi. Excuse me. Hello.
Oh, what a nice room. I did a little selfie. Excellent. Can you all hear me? I'm Joanna Puffer, and we are thrilled to be here today. I am joined by Alex Skipman from Microsoft, by Spike Wong from HP, and John Ludwig from HP. And we are all so happy to welcome you to our very exciting announcement about the HP Reverb G2. So we got a lot of emojis going, so it is great to be here with you all. So what are we going to do here today? We are going to talk to you about our new product. We're going to talk to you about all the specs. We're going to talk to you about the virtual reality market. And then Spike and Alex are going to do a fireside chat. And then at the end, hopefully, we'll have some time for some questions from you. So, as I said, we are so excited to be here. This is our first virtual reality product launch in virtual reality. So it's our first virtual reality product launch with our partners at Microsoft AltSpace. And so we have a saying on our team about drinking our own champagne. So here we are drinking the champagne, doing the product launch about virtual reality in virtual reality. And we're thrilled that you're here to experience this with us. I see people dancing. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. We love it. We love it. So, like most of you, our team at HP has turned to virtual reality more than ever in this current time. You see here a lot of pictures, a collage of what we've been up to lately. We've been learning, we've been collaborating, we've been creating, we've been connecting, and a bunch of us have been gaming in VR even more than ever right now. We've had team meetings, we've made presentations, we've done even product design review, maybe even for the headset that we're talking about here. And now that we aren't able to be together live, we've also had a lot of virtual water cooler moments. We even had one of our employees' retirement parties in virtual reality. So we're tapping into the power of VR to bring us together, even when we're apart. As you all know, because you're here, you're super fans, you're early adopters, the time for VR is now. It's accelerating, and we all see it, we all feel it, and I can see everyone's excitement about that. VR enables us to game. Our partners from Valve tell us that they've had record concurrent users during this time period. Their numbers for April added 1 million additional users in VR. We're so excited about that. VR enables us to create. And we're working with partners where they're creating, designing, doing product design review, quality review, and they're able to do it from wherever they are today, no matter the worldwide situation. And even without the current situation, you are able to achieve much more efficient productivity, much more efficient pipelines, higher quality by using virtual reality and tapping into the power of VR. VR enables us to collaborate and connect. Here we are today, collaborating, connecting. We're able to work together. We're able to achieve together things that we wouldn't be able to do without this great technology. One of my favorite quotes, and we have it here from one of the leading consulting firms, McKinsey & Company. Their lead for XR says that if you give somebody a computer, a keyboard, a mouse, and a screen, and we're HP, so we're definitely giving a lot of businesses computer, a keyboard, mouse, and a screen. But he says if you give your employees, your teams, those great technologies, but not a VR headset, you're essentially hobbling their productivity. And we couldn't agree more. VR enables us to learn. We all know the retentive power of virtual reality. We've seen the stats, whether it's for enterprise training, whether it's learning how to weld, whether it is learning, how to dissect a frog. I'm sure a lot of us in here today have had those experiences. Whether it's learning to do manufacturing on a product floor. And so today, where nearly 90% of all students are out of school, and not 2/3, and 25 to 30% of the workforce believes they'll be work from home at least part of the time into 2021, learning in virtual reality is more important than ever. And it's incredibly important for all of these needs and all of these experiences that you're looking for, that our partners are looking for, that we're looking for, that we bring a great virtual reality technology. So today, we are here to bring you that great virtual reality headset. So HP, together with our partners from Valve and from Microsoft, who's so lovely to be hosting us here today in AltSpace, are bringing you the best of what each of our companies has to offer in this space. We were so thrilled about this collaboration. HP brings the world's most comprehensive virtual reality products for enterprise. Valve brings cutting edge, seamless integration with Steam VR and the best in class audio and optics. And Microsoft brings industry leading 6-stop tracking and integration into Steam VR. And now I'm going to turn it over to John Ludwig, who's going to walk us through all the details of the HP Reverb Generation 2.
Doesn't always show up in the specs. So what do we do to them? We boosted the contrast and brightness quite a bit. At the same time, we lowered the persistence to give you a smoother VR experience. But probably the biggest thing is a reduction in perceived mirror. So with the first generation Reverb, we had one of the first panels out there with that pixel density. And what you could see is a bit of the structure of the LCD because we'd gotten rid of the space in between the pixels. And it created this perceived mirror where there was a bit of a pattern across the display as you looked around. So it looked like you were looking into the virtual world through a pair of dirty glasses or dirty goggles. With the Reverb G2, we have these brand new panels, and we've gotten rid of all that perceived mirror, so no longer are you looking through something into a new world, you are just looking into a new virtual world. On top of those brand new LCD panels, we have a pair of Valve-designed optics, focusing on angular resolution, so that whole resolution gets passed through to your eyes, as well as clarity out to the edge. And of course, since we are making a headset to give everyone the best immersive experience possible, we have to have mechanical IPD so that your eyes can be centered in the lenses for the best possible optical performance. So we have mechanical IPD going from 60 to 68 millimeters, letting you adjust it to whatever size or shape your face is.
He's waiting.
I'm going to keep powering on over to audio now. So a lot of you have probably tried the Valve Index, and you might say, hey, that looks familiar, and it should. If you like the Valve Index audio, you're going to like the audio on the HP Reverb G2. We've literally stripped off those BMR drivers and the amplifiers and the audio system from Valve and grafted onto the Reverb G2. Still sits about 10 millimeters off your ears, so you get that comfort for a long playing session, nothing putting any pressure on your ears. You can talk to other people in the room with you, but of course with that BMR driver, you're getting amazing bass response and frequency response up into the highs, so you have great immersive audio, and so you can hear things around you, locate them with spatial audio. So if you like the index audio, you're gonna like the Reverb G2 audio. Let's keep going on. Let's go to the next one. I'm on a roll. Okay, this is where Microsoft made a huge lift. We have 4 camera tracking, which everyone will be excited about. We've gone from 2 cameras on the previous Reverb G1 up to 4. You can see there's an extra camera on each side of the device. Gives you over 2 times the total tracking volume for the controllers, which is amazing. Oh yeah, I can put my hands out here, it still tracks. It's awesome. For me personally, I've been playing a lot of Half-Life Alyx recently, and there's a lot of throwing of objects, whether it be grenades or rocks or boxes. With Reverb G1, you know, you got to keep your hands in front of the tracking cameras to get real good accuracy with that. So it's a lot of discus style or underhand throwing. Since we got the Reverb G2 prototypes in, I've been playing Half-Life Alyx on Reverb G2. You can get that full overhand throwing motion, totally much more natural input. Can't overstate enough how enjoyable it is to play Half-Life Alyx with 4-camera WMR tracking. Of course, alongside that, we have to get new controllers. And this is again a place where Microsoft brought a lot of experience. Obviously, they have a lot of experience with controller ergonomics as a company, and they brought in and worked with us to design these brand new pair of controllers here, the Reverb G2 controllers. You can see the tracking circle. Built into the side headband, so you can easily take it on and off with that flex or put it up onto your forehead as you would. We've also added, though, and this is one of my favorite things, and this is why every product is a team effort, there's a guy named Scott, and Scott really pushed having a 90-degree vertical headband. So you actually rotate the headband to go straight up from the headset, because he was really into snacking in VR. So he'd put on VR quickly, check something out, and take it off, but you don't want to deal with the headband in the way. So as you move it up 90 degrees, it gets out of your way. You can easily put the headset on and off without having to deal with the headband. And for glasses users, really amazing, because you can just put the headset straight onto your face and then rotate the headband back over your head. Makes it much easier for that on-off experience. And we'll just keep rolling. Of course, this is still a Windows Mixed Reality device, so your base ecosystem is going to be the Windows Mixed Reality portal. Valve, however, is putting their name behind this, and so they've been doing a ton of work to get the Windows Mixed Reality to Steam bridge working flawlessly. So you've seen a lot of updates come out in the up to the launch of Half-Life Alyx, improving that experience for Windows Mixed Reality customers. And you can have the confidence that as Valve is putting their name behind this, they're going to make sure that Steam VR experience is awesome for Windows Mixed Reality customers. In terms of actually plugging into a PC, it's slightly different this round. We still have DisplayPort 1.3 and include a full to mini-size DP adapter, but now we terminate in USB-C instead of USB-A. The data rate we need is still just USB 3.0, but for those brighter displays and those extra cameras, we need a little bit more power than you typically get out of a USB 3.0 port. So we have USB-C. If you plug it into something with power delivery, like a USB-C with power delivery, Thunderbolt, or Virtual Link, you'll get all the power you need and you're off to the races. If, however, you're just plugging into a normal USB port without power delivery, we do include in the box a power adapter to plug into the wall, so you'll have all that power you need for those brighter displays and extra cameras. And then, if we go again, of course, as Joanna talked, we have these different categories: game, create, collaborate, learn. We've talked a lot about gaming here, but these improvements that we get by working with Microsoft and Valve also roll out to these other sections of create, collaborate, and learn. And then if we go, I think we'll have a comparison slide. Of course, I have to get aggressive and compare us to Oculus Rift S. We have 2.5 times their resolution. We have mechanical IPD. We have real headphones attached to the headset. And of course, we have that longer cable and magnetic face mask. So we feel we're delivering a much more immersive experience, probably one of the leading immersive experiences for this generation of VR. Keep it going. And this is my corporate plug. We also have an amazing laptop coming out at the same time this fall. It's the world's smallest VR-ready 15-inch notebook by volume. So as you're looking to get a VR in a backpack, you're going to want the world's smallest VR-ready 15-inch notebook. It goes up to a 2080 Super or an RTX 5000 if you want those certified graphics. And that's the ZBook Studio and the ZBook Create. It's absolutely what I'll be carrying around in the future myself. The Reverb G2 plus the ZBook Create.
Looks like they like it. There's a lot of emojis for it.
I can't quite hear you, Joanna.
I said it looks like they like the corporate plug. There's a lot of emojis going for it.
Yeah, people like
Corporate
great hardware.
plug's winning. Exactly. So yeah, we're all super excited for this laptop.
Boom!
All right.
And that's it for me,
So-
folks. Back to Joanna.
We're going to talk about how do you get this headset? When is it coming? When is it going to be shipping? It is shipping in the fall. It will be shipping globally, so you'll be able to get it all over the world. We are starting pre-orders. We are rolling out pre-orders country by country. The US pre-orders will be rolling out at the end of this month, and then pre-orders in select countries will be rolling out starting mid-June and through July. But again, to reiterate, it is shipping in the fall globally. And so now we're so excited to welcome Spike Wong and Alex Kipman to the stage for a fireside chat. And the way they're gonna do a fireside chat. They're gonna talk to each other. We're so excited to hear what they have to say. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do some Q&A. And since there's so many people in here, if you could just message me, Joanna Popper, your questions, I will go ahead and I'll bring all 4 of us back up to the stage after the fireside chat and get your questions answered. Okay, so I'll be standing off to the side. Spike and Alex will come on stage. If you have questions, go ahead and start messaging them to me and we'll get them answered at the very end. So thank you.
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me. Congratulations, Spike, to you and Team HP for this amazing, incredible headset. Big day, and I'm very excited to finally see this gorgeous, best-in-class headset come to market.
No, really. I mean, just not congratulations for the team HP, but also team at Microsoft, team at Valve, but really the team of the community of teams that have been building VR for the whole industry, not just for HP. A win day for everybody, for sure. So Alex, since you and I worked together for quite a while now, so I'm just curious, why do you think that this whole VR is so interesting for you personally to maybe lead into other things we want to talk about?
Sure. Look, I love the concept of technology giving us the ability to displace space and time. I think in the most simplest form, even watching television is like theater, time and space displaced. Kind of the job of a technologist, our job is to continue to make then technology more and more immersive as it becomes more and more pervasive in our daily lives. But the concept, I think, is still the same. So when I applied that to virtual reality, what a great medium. It is by far kind of the most immersive medium in technology today.
I agree.
In terms of feeling presence. Look at us here now, feeling this physicality of the space. But turns out none of us, I don't think, are in the same physical location, right? So the ability to be physically present without having to be in the same physical location, to me, is a huge, huge benefit of virtual reality. And it also gives you the idea to not only, have a lot of people in the same space that aren't physically located, but also to teleport in time, right? To visit other places and to essentially experience life in a much more immersive way, mediated through technology. So when I look at all the conversation today, higher resolution, better lenses, more immersive spatial audio, to me, those are all great features that really start making the experience that much more present, that much more physical. And that's what I love about virtual reality.
Well, thank you. Same here as well. A little bit different. The story I tell to my team is why I'm in VR is it's kind of remind me the first time I used email a long time ago. It's kind of like wow moment. Wow, this something is big's happening. Yeah, it's gonna take some while to get to it. And for me personally, I live in San Francisco. I walk the street of San Francisco. San Francisco is famous for all the tourist spot, but also famous for the not so tourist spot, the homeless. I mean, imagine the capability using VR technology to bring people together, but also help people to get better. I think really, for me, that's kind of the ultimate moment for me to make back to the community about using technology. That's really why we are here as well.
Cool.
So what recently kind of excited you in XR, MR, VR? I know you would not just for VR, you also with HoloLens, you own the HoloLens group as well. Anything you want to kind of share? But say, hey, what do you think is going to happen next after Gen 2? What's going to happen next?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Ultimately, for me, the journey ahead of us needs to get more and more exciting, right? I think if you look at, call it, first generation of these products, and this is true about products, this is true about virtual products. In a sense, it was all about exploring, creating developer kits and getting things out there so that we could, as an ecosystem, really start learning what works and what doesn't work. Because this is, at the end of the day, a new medium for computing, and as a new medium, really, you are thinking through paint colors and paintbrushes, and we need to learn how to paint. And painting in this world is just very different from painting in, call it, traditional digital 2D world. As you walk into second generation, I think the focus, see even the headset today that we're announcing, about taking that and saying, look, now I understand a bit better what to do with it, right? See, a lot of the create, the learn, and the communication and product of these things, but also a lot of the what I would call generation 2 is really about more comfort and more immersion. And this again is true about HoloLens on one side. This is headset we talked about today. More natural gestures, more resolution, better sound, and things of that nature. As you look at the next generation, for I think all of these headsets, to me the key to be shifting from a world of personal computing, right? This dogma people have that you have a single person to a single device to a single experience, and really shifting it forward to what I'll call collaborative computing, right? Once you put ourselves in these kinds of environments, the benefit, look at us in alt space, is really collaboration, right? It's really the fact that, these devices are really just a lens into a connected world. And it doesn't matter, if you're coming from VR, if you're coming from augmented reality, it doesn't matter if you're Windows mixed reality or iOS or Android or something. The idea is that you should be able to all participate in the same collaborative computing session. You're seeing a little bit of that here in AltSpace, which is a custom-made app for collaboration, for presence. But I think in the third generation of these headsets, you're going to see that much more built in, right? Where it doesn't matter what you're doing, if it's for productivity, if it's for learning, if it's for pure entertainment, I think a lot of the experiences will have presence in mind. They'll have, and as soon as you say more presence in mind, more collaboration in mind, that means that you need to have better representations of self, better representations of environment. You need to be able to, really push forward how we represent ourselves in this space, because we're going to be, hanging out with a lot more people doing operation. So again, I think Gen 1 was all about understanding the space and the palette. I think 2 was all about immersion and comfort. I think generation 3 is going to be about collaborative computing, centered on presence.
No,
Human
actually,
presence.
I've been reading all the review recently since we announced this product this morning. One of the big was from people keep talking about, hey, HP, Microsoft, and Valve collaborating. I think really the next gen of collaboration beyond just we collaborating together in our space, but also collaborating with company would bring different strength into this VR community, how we can better technology for the next gen. Really, that's even a higher level of collaboration. We think that we part of what we need to do for the VR industry as well.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, so then if we think about then the collaboration with Valve, maybe you can tell me the story how we got together, but also how we brought Valve together. What is your thought process on that? How did it happen, and what do you think we can do better next time?
So, and I apologize, Spike. Can you repeat the question? Like you broke up right as you were asking it. Apologies.
Sure. No worry. So the question is that, hey, the collaboration we have with Valve, what was your story behind how did we collaborate together between Microsoft and HP, and how then we brought Valve together, the three-party working together?
Yeah, I love working with HP. You and I, Spike, have worked together for many, many years. I fundamentally believe that, imagine for a minute what we could accomplish as a species if it didn't matter who got credit for it, right? I think there's so much innovation to be had. I think there is so much collaboration to be had. And there's so much strength that's, complementary in the ecosystem. Why compete, right? So why have us create vertically integrated products from hardware to platform to experiences, to then have HP do the same thing, to then have Valve do the same thing? Nobody really wins in that world. The first person to lose is the developer, right? Person are like, oh, how do I invest my time to go create these things that are all different instead of going to different things? I get a much smaller sample size because we're taking essentially a beginning, a nascent, medium, and subdividing a small set between ourselves. Where if you look on the flip side, by partnering, by having an open ecosystem things, see all the push and conversations we've had on OpenXR, right? At the end of the day, make the story for developers consistent, so that mixed reality, and if it's VR ZBook, or if it's augmented reality by iOS or Android, and everywhere in between, they keep it consistent, right? Where developers have the freedom to do what to and we the is one. Specifically, into the art world, you say, man, you guys are world experts, being beautiful, amazing art. Valve is such a world expert at creating entertainment content, and they've been in the space for a long time. And look, at the end of the day, we're a platform company in the space, creating a platform. These are highly complementary and open space. So partnering to me makes sense. You see the joy and the result that we, where I believe, this best value proposition in the market today for virtual reality, the and best. And I think because we have between HP, Valve, and us, best people in the industry working in a highly collaborative and highly complementary way, where really this sum of efforts.
No, and I couldn't agree with more. There'll be time to compete, but really the market is just so small. I think really our approach when you and I first met is that, hey, let's make this VR world bigger for everybody. There will be time to compete in the future. Really, that's why we have now Microsoft, Valve bring their expertise and HP bring our expertise. Maybe a hint to the community here would be we'll be looking for more collaboration, cooperation in the future as well. Apparently, so obviously, I actually one thing that's interesting with this is that I can see all the emotion for people with raising their hands. I think this is a great way to interact. With that, Joanna, is that time for next topic, or we are good on time?
Yes, thank you, Spike and Alex. That was fantastic. All right, so we are all going to. So John, if you could come back up. Where's John?
Oh, I could go back up again.
Yeah, so we're going to do some Q&A. If people just send me your questions via messenger, and I will go ahead and have them ask. All right, question from Brad. Are the cameras on R2 pass-through capable, and if so, does it compare to your competitors? And Brad is calling in. He's alt spacing in. He's here with us from Australia. Welcome, Brad.
Who wants to take this one? I mean, take it.
Cool.
I would say
Go
we
ahead,
have 4 amazing cameras. They are capable of passing through information, but they're black and white cameras of somewhat lower resolution. So I would not say that we have what you would consider pass-through AR. But we have this thing we call flashlight mode. So you can punch a hole with your hands, essentially, with the controllers, and almost like light, illuminate wherever you're pointing, left hand, right hand, you will see it. It's not to the spot where I would consider it just yet, proper pass on our roadmap for future products. But this one, I would say the feature is flashlight mode, which is a step in the right direction.
Great. Okay, the next question is about hand tracking. Are we considering it? And I know we probably all don't talk about anything that we haven't announced, but does anyone want to touch on hand tracking?
Yeah, I'm going to try that one. I think Alex and John can step in. So obviously, we want to get rid of as many of these things as we can. Obviously, with the technology availability, we'll be looking at those technology in the future as well. Obviously, we don't disclose a product in plan, but what you're thinking about should be something that we've been thinking about as well.
Great. Okay, then question on input. So, are you viewing voice as a primary input, or what? And voice, and what other technologies are you looking at for input? And that last question was from Kent Bai, go ahead with this one. Yes, somebody's raising their hand here.
So I'd say platform-wise, yes, you have these amazing, beautiful, ergonomically comfortable controllers for 6 degrees of freedom input. I would say that's the primary mode of interaction in virtual reality today. You also have amazing micro headset that will do spatial sound on the headsets, but also will do spatial audio from perspective of capture or voice input. Fully integrated with speech, and speech is class citizen input into our entire experience. So we have this design concept, in the space where if you can see it, you can say it. Right, so you can look at a window, for example, and say close or resize or make bigger or make smaller, or please start. Or you don't have to say please. You can say start alt space or search the internet. So I would say 6 degree of freedom input is definitely primary, but voice is also a first class citizen into the entirety of the experience, and the microphones are stunning.
Great. Okay.
Great.
We have a question from Lisa. Are the controllers included with the headset?
Yes. It's a simple one.
Better be, John. It better be.
Let's give some more details on the controllers. Let's talk about the compatibility. Let's talk about more on how to change.
Yes, the controllers are included.
Give them what they're looking for, a little bit more.
Yes, the controllers are included in our $599 price point in the U.S. And we do, however, offer for some arcades want no controllers, so we do offer them controllerless SKUs, but for most people, they want controllers. The exciting part about the G2 controllers for Reverb is that they are backwards compatible with other WMR devices. So if you have a first generation Reverb or a Samsung Odyssey or whatever you have, it's mixed reality, you can use the Reverb G2 controllers with them. And we won't announce a price point today, but we do intend to sell those alongside for customers who already have a Windows mixed reality based device.
Great. And so
John, I can vouch for these being the most comfortable Windows mixed reality controllers in the market today by margin.
Excellent. So John
Thank
just
you, Alex.
said the headset with controllers is $599 in the US. I'm talking about the controllers just to make it clear that controllers are coming with a headset everywhere, not just for the US. Underline that. Okay, now we have a question from Navdeep. Does it do SLAM like HoloLens 2?
That's
yeah,
clearly
for
your
those
question,
that don't know what SLAM is, it's an algorithm that stands for simultaneous localization and mapping. It's essentially why we have these cameras so that we can look at the real world, and as you move around, we can keep perspective of motion and make sure that the world that you're in has 6 degrees of freedom and doesn't move. So yes, absolutely. Short answer, I do think we have industry-leading 6 degree of freedom, particularly with inside-out tracking. We've had it, since we started this journey now almost a decade ago, and we've always shared, across our ecosystem from HoloLens to the VR headsets, that technology. What you see here is us upgraded, right? So that we go from 2 cameras in virtual reality, which is the case for the other Windows mixed reality headsets, to 4. 4, by the way, is what HoloLens has, HoloLens 1 and HoloLens 2. And that does make sure not only you can track controllers more precisely, but your overall 6 degree of freedom experience becomes that much more robust as well. And yes, we continue to innovate in that space, and that innovation goes to HoloLens 2 as well as this headset.
Excellent. We have a question from Chris. Chris wants to know, is anyone in this room using the G2 right now? So definitely all the HP presenters are using the G2, and then we have a bunch of our HP VR team in the room as well, who are probably all on the G2. It looks like some hands are raised to show.
I am as well, just for the record. I have all the headsets, and I am definitely coming from it as well. Thank you for sending it to me, and I'm loving it.
Excellent. Of course he is. So we have all the presenters and quite a few of your fellow audience guests. Okay, we have a question from Jackie. Is there something planned for government, for military, for secure use, for that type of use case? Create a secure environment for enterprise. Excuse me, not enterprise,
John?
government and military.
Yeah. So there is a process where you can use, generally what we find with military is the biggest thing for them is just data security. So they don't want something attached to the internet, sending bits out and back. So we do get that request fairly frequently. And so, yes, there is a method to use these without having to connect to the internet, as long as those customers are using, a decently recent Windows 10 build.
All right. This John and I have done this done a couple of chats today. This is the second time we get this question, John. When will HP get into adding scent tech to VR? That's interesting. The second time, when we talked to somebody earlier about this, as a member of the press, they were really curious about, we know in VR we have audio cues, we have visual cues, there's haptic cues. So we're very much triggering a lot of our senses, but there's definitely great examples like the Void, like Dreamscape, like some of the award-winning projects from Tribeca, like Tree and Tree Hugger. They all use scent in a really meaningful way. So this is the second time we got it today. So it seems like some people want us to do that, John.
Try that, John.
I'm excited. Add taste too while we're at it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've done an experience at Sundance with our partners, a Marshmallow Laser Feast. They use the HP the G2 backpacks, and they added taste as well. So there's lots of developers all over the world really pushing the envelope with all of these ideas, which is so exciting to see. Okay, we have a question from Brad. Regarding the controllers, are you confident that tracking will hold up to scrutiny compared to other options?
Yes.
Yeah,
anyone can jump in here,
when the fall comes and you get your unit, you'll definitely put it to your test. We know that's what this community does. So yeah, we're confident in it.
And if I can advertise a little bit, I do have confidence because we have, the stuff quite well metricated in terms of how the device actually operates. I think people will be, proof is in the pudding. Go play with it and see what happens. But I'll also suggest that, one of the key, benefits working with Valve is their entertainment focus and their gaming focus through Steam and Steam VR. And, a lot of our questions early on have been about, how do you get, best, right? And a lot of the if you know anything about gaming, turns out it's about input, right? We talk a lot about graphics on the television or the immersion, but when you're creating a game, it's about the mechanics and making sure that you get to good mechanics that make you feel like you're in the game, which is really about input, right? Which is in this case is about these controllers. So Valve gave a ton of feedback to Spy around not only tracking but and you know, a lot design that went into from the 4 cameras to the new controller design are really to address that, right? They have as content providers, they have the preview to kind of see the entire ecosystem, all the different headsets, all the different titles, to become quite good at saying, look, this is the stuff that really needs to be nailed in terms of input for all of this stuff to work super well. And, you know, again, I think their feedback was wonderful. I think the collaboration was wonderful, and, you know, very good confidence that people pleasantly surprised on how well these work vis-a-vis, you know, previous versions or, you know, current things in market.
Very true. True. All right, so we have a question from Christina. It is about the mic. John, are you using that's specifically addressed to John? So I don't know if John sounds different to other people. Are you using the mic? You might not have turned on your megaphone. Maybe that.
I got my megaphone on.
Okay, but they're asking if you're using.
Does it sound good? Hopefully that's a positive question, because I am using Reverb G2.
We're getting the hearts.
Excellent. Yeah, so we have dual mics. They do some noise cancellation, so you can hear me better. You can't hear, you know, my dog sniffing around the background. But yes, I am using it, so you can get a initial impression of how Reverb G2 sounds just based on my voice, and apparently Alex's and Spike's as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so new question from Gregory. Wireless consideration. What are we thinking about wireless?
Oh, geez. We always think about wireless.
Should I give the analogy, John?
No.
So, maybe I'll use that. No.
Go for it. Go ahead. Do the analogy.
So, no, this unit I'm using right now, I received about maybe a month and a half ago. So I basically, I kind of grade the team roughly, hey, what I love about the product. Then I say, man, if the tether, the cable is gone, this will be a 6-star product. So I think it's the ultimate dream of all VR, for sure. Obviously, with that dream, people will be working toward that dream.
Excellent. Very true. All right. We have a from Alistair. Hey, Joanna, great product launch today. Congrats. Thank you, Alistair, for the nice message. We appreciate it. Are there plans to launch a mobile standalone? Well, we just addressed that. All right. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and message them to me, Joanna Popper. Just send them directly, and we will keep asking them. And what we will do next when we finish is we will go outside, and there's an area if you want to hang out and ask them one-on-one questions, and there's a fun selfie station. But for now, I think we'll all come back up. Jason wanted us all on stage. I hope everyone noticed this amazing 3D VR HP Reverb G2 in the corner there, the alt space. Made specially for us, and we're so grateful. We love it. We're very happy. Oh, and here's the second one. So we have a giant one over here, and then we have one right here that Alex is holding. So we're very happy about that. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I know Jason was doing some capturing some video and some stills of everyone. Jason, let me know if you are good. And then let's play the video again.
You just threw a headset. Well done. That was a good throw. I just felt a little bit of like an Oprah moment going on here. You just like took an HP headset and you're like into the audience. Here, take another one, John.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Last year at AWE, when we were launching our Reverb Generation 1, we actually were able to have an Oprah moment. And I actually went on